Hello, my dear students. I hope you all have been doing well. Today we are going to discuss about protein folding. This is my lecture number 4, and up till now we have discussed that what are amino acid, how amino acid join together via peptide bond and form a polypeptide chain, and then after the formation of polypeptide chain, that is the primary structure of the protein, how this polypeptide chain exhibit secondary structure, and then then the tertiary structure and the quaternary structure. So we have already discussed all the structural level of protein. Now here we are going to study that how protein fold. So what is the protein folding? Actually, the folding of protein is it's three-dimensional conformation, or we can say the protein folding is the way in that protein arrange itself. Protein folding is a mechanism in that or process in that protein take a three-dimensional conformation. So this protein folding means when protein fold itself, so it acquire tertiary structure and then quaternary structure. So without the protein folding, it is not possible for protein to exhibit tertiary structure, three-dimensional structure, or the quaternary structure. So for the protein to exhibit tertiary and the quaternary structure, protein should have to fold itself. So when protein fold itself, or the protein molecule after the folding is called as the native protein. So and one term is the nascent protein. Nascent protein is that protein that synthesize and not in folded conformation. So once protein synthesize, and then after the joining of amino acid via peptide bond, so that protein fold itself after the secondary structure, exhibiting the secondary structure during taking 3D structure or quaternary structure, protein fold itself. So this folded protein is called as the native protein. And the protein biological activity is based on the native conformation of protein, or the native form of the protein, or the unfolded form of protein. However, the folded protein or the native protein can means exhibit its previous conformation, that is you can say primary or the secondary structure. But the native protein is that protein that fold itself and exhibit tertiary or quaternary structure. So why the protein folding is important and why this native conformation is important? Because protein only in its native state, that is the folded form, can be able to deliver its biological activity. And the folded protein, why folding is important? Because folding of protein is also important because the folding of protein protect protein from biological environment of the cell, or from the enzymatic degradation of the protein. So protein is a molecule that is formed after the joining of the polypeptide chain, and the polypeptide protein is a molecule or the macromolecule that form after the joining of amino acid via the peptide bond. So if the peptide bond or the protein would be present in the cell biological environment, in the in the you can say in its primary structure, not in the folded form. So the peptide bond would be largely exposed with the watery environment of the cell, or the biological environment of the cell. So there are a lot of capability that the peptide bond hydrolyze, and then amino acid get removed from the protein and protein get degrade. So due to protect itself, protein should have to fold itself into 3D or quaternary structure, and then the protein biological activity is based on its 3D or native conformation. So here you have to just clear in your mind that what is the denaturation, what is the native conformation of protein, and what is the renaturation. So denaturation means when protein would be in fully folded form, it will be the native protein. And what is the nascent protein? Nascent protein would be unfolded protein or newly synthesized protein that is not going through the folding process. Means folding procedure or folding process. And the denatured protein is the protein that is not in folded form. So the proteins all we have discussed this point that all the protein that would not be folded, they would not be so much stable. And then and one more thing, that one important question is this: what allows to protein to get this native conformation? Means what are those factors due to by adopting them, the protein could be able to fold itself in three-dimensional structure or and take the quaternary structure. So there are forces, and actually there are the forces that allows or that enable the protein polypeptide chain to exhibit three-dimensional structure or the native form, or these forces enable protein to fold itself. So how we are seeing here that we already know previously that protein polypeptide chain made up of amino acid, and we also have been studied this fact that amino acid having different charges. Some are polar, some are positive charge, some are negative charge, and some are non-polar. So what happened then, how these amino acid help protein to fold itself? So we are having here our diagram. So we can see here what happened, that the amino acid, this is a protein polypeptide chain, and it is having various amino acid, number of amino acid, maybe 200, 300 or so on. So what is going here, that all the this protein could be having all type of amino acid. They are positive charge, negative charge, they are hydrophobic, hydrophilic. So what happens then, the amino acid that would be having positive charge, for example one of the lysine, so the amino group of that positively charged amino acid would make a bond, that is the ionic bond, with the other amino acid that would be the negatively charged. So due to this attraction, both sides of polypeptide chain would come closer to each other. And then if the protein is having all those amino acid, for example cysteine amino acid that would be present in the protein, would make the disulfide bond with through its sulfur atom with the other nearby cysteine amino acid. So we have already discussed in my previous lecture that disulfide bond is very much important for the protein folding. So this is one reason how protein get fold in 3D structure or native conformation, because of the presence of these amino acid that make different bond between them. And then what happened, if the protein will be having the hydrophobic amino acid, so it will interact with another hydrophobic amino acid and make the hydrophobic bond. And then the protein can also make amino acid would make a hydrogen bond. So how the hydrogen bond will form, one amino acid that would be having the two nearby amino acid. If the two amino acid would be find nearby to each other, so what happened, the carboxylic oxygen of one amino acid would form the bond with the nearby another maybe polar amino acid that would be having hydrogen atom. So by doing so, means the all the bond will form in the protein polypeptide chain, and due to these attraction, protein different part of polypeptide chain would come closer to each other, and then give protein as 3D structure, 3D form, or native form or native conformation. But here you have to keep in your mind one thing, that for the protein folding, the large proportion of the forces that involved in protein 3D means conformation or 3D folding would be the hydrophobic interaction. So and now we would be talking about the what would be the difference between the unfolded and folded protein. So there would be the big energy difference between the unfolded and folded protein. And then one thing more, that the native protein, that is the 3D the protein that would be present in the 3D form would be highly disordered. And this 3D form of the protein or the native form is based on the total intraatomic interaction that would be present means in the within the polypeptide chain. So here we have discussed that, till here we have discussed that there are two forms of protein. One is the native form and one is the nascent form of protein. But this is not means end here. Between the unfolded or the native form and the between the unfolded or nascent form of protein and the native form of protein, there is also another form, that is that we say as the molten globe. So what is this molten globe? Molten globe is actually a form of protein that is not means fully that is not present in the fully native form. Or we can say the molten globe is the state of protein folding between the unfolded form and the fully folded form. So there is a means during the process of protein folding start from the as protein synthesized and released from the amino acid. So some protein start folding released from the ribosome. So some protein start folding means simultaneously when translation takes place, and some protein fold after the translation. So the from the between the folded and unfolded state, there will be the state of a protein. In that, protein would be means not would not be in either in the fully folded form or in the unfolded form. So this state would be called as molten globe protein. So what happened if protein when synthesized, it will fold itself into three-dimensional structure or then the quaternary structure. But there is also possibility that protein does not fold itself, and unfolded protein then make the aggregates. So this is means the aggregation protein aggregate is always harmful. So what happened here, we can see that what is the protein aggregation and what is the what its consequence. So here we can see when protein synthesized from and released from the ribosome, it fold itself and form a native protein, and then it what is the native form? That will be the three-dimensional structure. So various 3D structure or various 3D subunits then make the quaternary structure. How this quaternary structure would be formed via the different attractions between these individual subunits. So this will be the one consequence, and second consequence would be that protein did not fold into native conformation, and then what will happen? And remain unfold. So what will happen? The unfolded protein or the misfolded protein would form the aggregates. So these aggregates then degrade in the cell, but if they will not degrade, they will deposit in the cell and leads different kinds of disease. So we would be discussing what kind of disease this protein aggregate can lead, but here we have to discuss that the protein folding, what assists to protein to fold itself. One was the different intramolecular forces or different attractions that would generate in the polypeptide chain due to the presence of different types of amino acid. But except that, there are different other types of protein that assist the polypeptide chain to fold itself. So these type of protein are called as chaperone or chaperone. So I would say it's chaperone. So these chaperones are actually, chaperones are also one type of protein. And what is the work of this chaperone? The chaperone assists the unfolded protein to fold itself. So how this process takes place? So what happened when we have previously discussed in our previous lecture, that what happened, that protein is having what type of protein is going to synthesize in the cell, it is dictated by the DNA. So DNA would be having the sequence of nucleotide that would transcribe into messenger RNA, and then messenger RNA would come and then read by this ribosome, and then add up the corresponding nucleotides, corresponding amino acid, and then these amino acid would join via a via peptide bond and make a polypeptide chain. So what happened then, when the polypeptide chain start releasing or start generating or start coming out from this ribosome, so what happened, these different type of other proteins, these would bind with the protein, and then it will bring the nascent protein. This is the nascent protein that is coming out from the ribosome. So it will transport, the other protein would transport these nascent polypeptide chain to the chaperone, and then chaperone would chaperone assist to fold this protein into three-dimensional structure. Although the three-dimensional structure or the native conformation of protein generated due to the development of intramolecular attraction, or the after the development of different bonds between the different type of amino acid, but this chaperone assists for the development of these bond. How? They when the nascent protein would go in the chaperone, then they will help the different parts of polypeptide chain to come closer to each other, and then by doing so, what would be having, there would be different type of bond would be generated between a different type of amino acid. So finally, when the protein would be exhibit this native conformation, so chaperone will release this native protein. So this is the how the protein fold itself. And one more thing, that not only chaperone would assist for the not only chaperone assists protein to take the native conformation, however chaperone also assists for the misfold protein to degrade itself. So when protein when this nascent protein would synthesize, when this nascent protein would synthesize and release from the ribosome, and what happened then, there will be two consequences. Either it will be go into the chaperone and fold itself, or maybe it will not fold itself, or there is also one other consequence, that protein chaperone assists protein to fold itself, but chaperone was not fully functional to misfold protein into complete 3D structure or native conformation. So such type of protein are called as misfolded protein. So what would happen if the misfolded protein are present in the cell? So they would again degraded by another type of chaperone. So chaperone help for both thing, for the folding of nascent protein, for the folding of misfold protein, or for the degradation of the misfold protein. So if but now here question is this: why this folding is important? We have already discussed that folding is important just because without the native protein, or without the folded form of protein could not be able to exerts its biological activity. So and other thing why protein folding is important is that if protein would not fold itself, so the misfold protein would make the aggregate, or unfolded protein would make the aggregate, and then what happened, this aggregate would accumulate in the cell and would lead to the toxicity, or the toxicity in the cell, and damaged cell, or the cell would die. So and then they will lead different type of disease. So one of the disease that is occur due to the misfolded protein is the Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. So this disease, how this disease would happen? Disease is the disease of misfolded protein, and that is the prions. So prion is one of the misfolded proteins. So here we can see that the normal human protein, that is it is in secondary structure, and then what happened when this protein would not be able to get its fully native conformation, and then it misfold itself. So due to this it misfolding, what happened, we call this protein as a prion protein. And what happened, this this protein would lead to one of the disease, that is the Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, or we also say this disease as a spongiform. So what happened in this disease, this misfold protein, that is prion, exists in the brain, and when this misfold protein accumulate in the brain neuron, so what they lead to the memory loss, or the cognitive difficulties in cognition. So all these are the symptoms of this disease. So here we are seeing that what happened, and what is the fate of protein when protein synthesize. It can be it fold itself via chaperone molecule, or chaperone molecule may degrade misfold protein or unfolded protein if it could not be able to fold correctly in the cells. So that is how chaperone perform dual function in the cell, and chaperone is one type of protein that one side assists for protein folding, and the other side assists misfold protein to degrade itself. So here we can see that what happened when protein synthesized in our cell, what happened, protein, here we are seeing that ribosome. So ribosome assists for the synthesis of protein. How for ribosome assists for the, you can say in simple words, that's ribosome assists for the formation of the peptide bond between the amino acid molecule. So after the formation of the protein, nascent protein would release, and then previously it would be present in the unfolded form, or and then what would be having, there would be an intermediate form, means protein start taking its 2D structure, and then what happened, then protein would be present in the 3D structure, structure that would be the native conformation or fully folded conformation. But it can be happen that any of this stage protein means can make aggregate, or aggregate itself, means unfolded protein can make the disorder aggregate, or the intermediate form, that would be the 2D form. It would be possible that 2D form not means go into the native conformation and form aggregate, and then it would also possible that native protein form the oligomer, or protein can be crystallized. So and then what happened, then all these form, that would be the aggregation, protein aggregation. So what would happen, this aggregate would accumulate. If this means all the process is taking place in the brain neuron, so what happened, the protein aggregate would lead to disease. So in what the cells the protein aggregate would be present, they will induce cell cytotoxicity. So how they induce cell cytotoxicity, they distort the normal function of the cell. So if we talk about the brain cell, so if the protein means abnormal aggregate would accumulate in the brain neuron, so they especially damage brain neuron. And then there is one particular type of disease, that is we can say Parkinson disease or other neurological disorder order, in that particularly the means aggregates of these misfold protein are found, and these aggregates means involved in the etiology of these neurological disorder especially. So this was all about the protein folding, why the protein folding is important, why and how the protein folding takes place within the cell, and how the different type of other protein like chaperone help for assisting folding, and what is the fate of protein. So till here we have completed that what are amino acid, how amino acid join with each other and form the polypeptide chain, and then how this polypeptide chain exhibit the primary structure, then the secondary structure, then the tertiary structure, and then the quaternary structure, and after that how protein can fold itself, and what are the why the protein folding is important, and if protein would not fold itself, then what would be the consequence of protein misfolding. So till now we have completed all the thing, and now we will be studying in my next lecture about what function protein can perform. So must watch my next lecture. Thank you very much, and Allah Hafiz.